recovery because I can tell you all day what a vicious addict I was, and it's not really going to do anybody any good. So I'm 25 years old. I was born and raised in Leominster, and I'm currently living out in Stoneham. I hurt my back a few years ago. I broke my back 3 years ago. Before that, I suffered with a herniated disc. And I thought that opiates were the solution. And, you know, I started experimenting with pills. Smoked weed since I was 19, didn't think that that was a problem. Now I see it is. You know, opiates really destroyed my life. They pulled me away from the church. They pulled me away from God. Sorry, I wrote down some points so I wouldn't ramble. So I grew up coming to Horizon Christian Fellowship since I was a kid, and I'm so thankful for that because without it I wouldn't have had my relationship with God that I did before. And I knew what it meant to be a Christian. I knew what it meant to be saved, but I didn't know what it meant to be truly saved by Jesus until now. So the pills, when I broke my back, it turned into heroin use. And I was never an IV user, but that doesn't really make a difference. Addiction is addiction. I started experimenting with heroin because it was cheaper, it was more readily available, and it was stronger. And it's terrifying because so many people that I went to school with are dead now. And I see that, you know, when you have sobriety, you start to care about things that you didn't care about when you're in active addiction. And I had also started experimenting with other drugs, you know, because the pain relief obviously wasn't what I wanted. Something that you learn in sobriety and doing the 12 steps, which is what I do, is that there's no such thing as a trigger. People use alcohol, people use drugs, and people smoke marijuana because they like the way it makes them feel. And that's it. Whether it was cloudy outside, raining, sunny, I was going to get high either way. And what you're doing is you're fulfilling a spiritual malady. That's a block between you and God. You're using these drugs, you're using women, you're using video games, whatever your addiction may be, the giant in your life, as a replacement for that hole that only God can fill. How many people in this room have a family member or someone that they care about that's suffering with addiction? I expected about that. It's an epidemic. It's horrible. You know, there's something that we teach in the 12 steps called the disease model, and basically we define what addiction is. And I don't know, God just put it on my heart to talk a little bit more about the recovery aspect instead of the addiction, because people need to know that there's a solution, and that solution is a spiritual experience, a relationship with Jesus Christ. And that's what changed my life, is giving my life back to Jesus. What we teach in the disease model is that there's a mental obsession that takes over somebody's mind. It's a reoccurring or persistent thought or idea that does not respond to reason, willpower, or consequences. You can tell an alcoholic, you're going to die if you keep drinking. Your liver's going to fail, and they're going to leave the doctor and go to the packy. And that's the sad truth about it. And too many people think that Vivitrol is the answer to heroin, that Suboxone's the answer, that methadone is the answer, and these are just replacements to fill that spiritual malady that only God can fill. But you know, the most important thing about the 12 steps, which is so parallel to what the Bible teaches, and that's why I'm so passionate about it and I love it so much, is a third step, which is turning your will over to God, giving God your will. I see where I end up when I take my will back, and that's addicted to drugs, in jail, and falling very hard. And when I give my will to God, I'm present with my family. I'm here at my home church again, and it's something I never saw for myself. But it's what it really comes down to is sharing with others, and that's why I really wanted to do this today. I I was thankful for Paula for asking me if I'd like to do it. And really, what it comes down to is the 12th step, which is helping others, sharing the solution. And that solution for me is a relationship with Jesus. But God has worked in my life. He's changed me from the man that I was to the man that He created me to be. And I'm so thankful for that. But I've got a few songs now that I wrote, and I'd like to share.